morning. Welcome to day 85 of Quantum's Liberty DeStress series. It's a 12-week countdown and immune boost. Hope this day is finding you well. Today on the phone with us, we have Constance and Adriana, who are 9 and 11, and they are in Missouri, the state of Missouri. They are on the phone with us today for tapping to de-stress about the pandemic. So Adriana and Constance lost their mother to coronavirus. And so we were talking about how their dad went and got the vaccine. And everybody in the family now has the vaccine, the first one. And so what they wanted to talk about was the coronavirus pandemic. And so we were going to tap on bringing down some of the stress level and raising the immune system for the experiences that their family is going through and their community is going through in Missouri right now. So the community is not vaccinated heavily, right? And the impact on the health system is on overwhelm. So the government has arrived and they're helping to give vaccines and get people to hospitals in neighboring counties when the hospitals are, have not enough beds and things like that. So one of the things that you can do in the pandemic right now, we're going to be tapping because we know that the tapping, we'll talk about the science in just a minute, but about the tapping while we're doing the tapping. And then we want to, so we'll tap on any resistance that we have to having radiant health during the pandemic, right? Keep on tapping. This is a karate chop point. And then what we'll do is we'll tap on deserving that radiant health, and then we'll tap in vision, a vision of radiant health. But for right now, what we'll talk about with the pandemic that you can do while you're waiting for your first and second vaccines to kick in, because it'll be 2 weeks after the second vaccine that you have a really good protection. I think it's 96% protection with the Moderna, and Pfizer's up there too with like 90, did they say 94% for Pfizer after 2 weeks of the second vaccine. So, but right now, what Dr. John Brooks, he's a chief medical officer, and you can repeat after me, whatever we can do to improve the performance of masks right now will speed our control of this pandemic. Right, so there's this Delta variant that's going around, and apparently it's about 50% of all the cases, at least in the United States right now, according to Dr. Fauci this morning. And so Dr. John Brooks is the chief medical officer of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, COVID-19 response team. And so what the research shows from the CDC is that the mask, when you have a good fitting mask, in particular with the Delta variant around, if you're not vaccinated, then because it's like 60% more sticky, it's like it has 60% more Velcro on the outside of it, and it really sticks to people who are not vaccinated. And so what you can do is you can wear a double mask, and the CDC research says that if you wear a single layer surgical mask with a single layer of cotton, 100% cotton or 100% silk, over that single layer surgical mask, it's really easy. You reduce your aerosol transmission in and out of that mask, if it's well fitted, by 96.4%. So keep on tapping, because the tapping will go into the science of that. So let me just grab that and I'll show you what it looks like. It's really simple. So let's say you have, here it is. Here's a single layer surgical mask. It's really easy to breathe in and out of it. And this one is actually a double layer. But so what you do is you just put your mask right over that. Right? This one shrunk a little bit in the wash. And it's also a double layer. But anyway, so that's how it goes, right? You just put that right over that. And your breathing really is very easy. I found it very comfortable, not a problem at all. So that's how the CDC says if you have your single layer with your double mask on and fitting well, then you have a very, very good reduction in aerosol going in and out, including COVID. So the thing with cotton, I was learning in an 8-hour critical care course, was that cotton has the same number of electrons in the outer shell that COVID does. So it has an electromagnetic or electromagnetic repellent charge, right, to coronavirus. And the same thing with silk. So if you wear 100% silk or 100% cotton, then you are protecting yourself even further by wearing that over the single layer surgical mask. So that wouldn't be a mixture of cotton and polyester. It would have to be 100% cotton. So let's repeat again, and then we'll go into the tapping routine. So we know, for one thing, that the Delta variant, is prevalent in Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, and West Virginia. It's just like the hospitals are an overwhelm. So we'll remember and repeat after me what Dr. John Brooks says: whatever we can do to improve the performance of masks right now in the pandemic will speed our control of this pandemic. Let's do that again. Whatever we can do to improve the performance of masks right now will speed our control of this pandemic. So let's do the double mask. That's what the research says. That'll help us. All right, so let's go into tapping. Let's stop for a moment and close your eyes. And I want you to drop your tongue on the floor of your mouth. So it's just resting on the bottom of your mouth. And what this does is this stimulates the vagus nerve. And that calms every single organ in your entire body. And then what I want you to do is, while you're breathing like that, with the tongue sitting gently and your eyes closed on the floor of the mouth, I want you to see inside your body. Just imagine the space inside of your body. And fill that space with a beautiful, beautiful, radiant light of love. Right? And just imagine that light of love inside that space. Keep that tongue on the floor of your mouth. And I want you to imagine yourself in radiant health. Your whole body, mind, and spirit is in radiant health. You're walking around in the whole neighborhood and your family, all of California, all of Missouri, all of Arkansas, all the United States, all of the world in radiant, radiant health. I want you to imagine this like 12-sided sphere inside your heart, right? Filled with this radiant light. Keeping that tongue nice and soft and gentle on the bottom of your mouth. I want you to inhale, keeping your eyes closed, to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, and exhale to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do that 3 times. Imagine that beautiful sphere of radiant light in your heart. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. Tongue is nice and soft on the bottom of your mouth. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I want you to take that beautiful sphere of light inside your heart and shine it out to the whole world, right? And out into the universe, filled with compassion and love to everything in the whole universe. And let's do another while you're shining that light of love out into the whole universe from your beam inside your heart. I want you to count on the inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. Tongue is nice and soft. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eyes are still closed. We're going to do one more, and we're going to take all of that light that you're shining compassion out to the whole world and bring it back into your body and shine the light of compassion inside of your body. Keep the tongue nice and soft. Eyes are closed. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I want you to keep that tongue nice and soft. And you're envisioning yourself in radiant, beautiful health. Right? And I want you to see if there's anything in your body, anywhere, that is saying, no, I can't have that radiant health, that running and skipping down the street and having a great time. If there's any place at all, like in your shoulders, where there's a little bit of tension or blocking something from having that beautiful vision of radiant health, I want you to give it a number and write that number in the sky, in the air, and then also write where it is. So if it's like on your chest, right, because you're sad, or if it's in your legs or in your shoulders, so it's write that down too. And then we're going to rate it later after the tapping is done, and we'll see how we got that number down, if any. I hope we do. Okay, so open up your eyes, and I want you to look at the very first small blue object that you see. All right, and just look at that, and then I want you to tap on your karate chop point and repeat after me. Even though I have this resistance inside of me to radiant, beautiful health, and I have this uncomfortable feeling inside of my legs or my shoulders. You can name the spot. I love myself and accept myself completely. Even though I have this resistance in the form of an uncomfortable feeling in my body, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. Even though I have this resistance inside my body to beautiful, radiant health, I love myself and accept myself exactly as I am. This resistance inside the eye, outside the eye, this resistance to radiant health. I feel this resistance. It's blocking my vision. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Sometimes it's majorly uncomfortable. And this is really strange. Under the arm, top of the head. So strange to feel this. But there it is. That resistance. It's kind of crazy to feel resistance to help. But I feel it. And I acknowledge myself and love and appreciate myself exactly as I am, even though it feels awful. And I know I'm just going through a process of resistance and becoming aware of it. And when I become aware of it and focus in on it and do the tapping, this is the liver point. That moves quite a bit of energy. Oh, I did the arm. And we keep on tapping. We move the energy so that we can think very clearly about the next best thing to do in the pandemic. Resistance is something that happens in response to an emotion. And we know from science that tapping on these points moves emotion energy. These 5,000-year-old acupuncture, those are big words, girls, well done. Acupressure, meridian endpoints, slow down firing to my amygdala. When I have an emotion in response to a word, that's a trigger. Something like COVID-19. That emotion does things in my body in less than 1 second. And it takes me 14 seconds to realize that the emotion's there. But when I tap on the karate chop point, when I know I'm going to be talking about something uncomfortable or seeing the news about coronavirus, tapping on this point slows down the firing to my amygdala in my brain. And then the amygdala is my fight-flight center. It's also the freeze center. And what happens is, instead of oxygen staying in my brain, it floods to my arms and legs so I can run from danger or freeze from danger or fight danger. But the tapping keeps the oxygen in the brain. Keep tapping, girls. You can tap right here and here, the lip and under the eye, like that. I'm going to show you a picture. Keep on tapping. So repeat after me while you're tapping. When the amygdala fires, it makes my capillaries constrict 70%. so the oxygen can go to my arms and legs to run from danger. When I tap on the karate chop point, it slows down the firing to the amygdala and leaves my capillaries nice and open, so the oxygen stays in my brain, so I can be creative, because I deserve radiant health, with or without coronavirus in my environment. I envision and I deserve radiant health in mind, body, and spirit. So the tapping lowers my cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone released by the amygdala. Tapping lowers that cortisol level in 1 week by 37%. How's that for success? That helps my body and my brain to be much healthier. Not only does tapping lower cortisol levels in 1 week of tapping meditation by 37%, but it raises my immune system 113%. I am envisioning myself in radiant health of mind, body, and spirit, with or without coronavirus in the environment. I am walking in radiant health. I am skipping in radiant health. I am talking with radiant health. I am in bliss. I am healthy right here in my body. All these beautiful biomarkers are shifting to health, raising my immune system, lowering my stress levels, and releasing other beautiful hormones and neurotransmitters that increase my happiness levels and make the blood vessels in the prefrontal cortex, where I think and have self-awareness, nice and open. So a lot of beautiful things are happening in my body and my brain to make me feel good. I envision radiant health, and I am in radiant health with or without coronavirus in my environment, in mind, body, and spirit. Thank you, girls, for bringing this up to all of us. And good luck. Stay healthy.